fix that? Can I fix that? Okay. I think that's fixed now. Title being fixed. Alright. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, first I'll say this. If you're not in health, may you be in health. May Allah give you health. And if you are not in health, may Allah give you health. As you know, and you know how, sometimes I wait till after the things happen a little bit and then I speak on them. Okay, if I decide to speak on them. All right. So, I'm gonna first say this. We got a little bit exposing to do. We got a little exposing to do. So we're going to say, what was it? 2000. First, I'm going to say this. I'm not on the right. I'm not on the left. I mean, I'm not a leftist. I'm not a rightist. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I stand for black independence and black liberation. So, I learned this a while ago. And I've been saying this since 2010, 2014. I told you, 2015, I told you that white supremacists, and I told you that there was, in 2015 and in 2014, I told you, for those who've been following for a while, that there was white supremacist organizations that had to be dealt with. 2010, I was saying it. And I also said in what way they should be dealt with. Right? But here's the thing about it. So right now, matter of fact, so when they stormed the Capitol, right? And I'm gonna say this, and this is just my viewpoint. I got so many different things going on in my mind, and this is just me. Okay, this is just me, my viewpoint. Oppressors reap what they sow. See, oppressors reap what they sow. You build a country on oppression and racism. Both parties, whether it be dinner, I'm going to keep it 100. Both parties are guilty. Republican, Democrat, even some of the left, the right, are guilty of making deals or even fostering or being part of white supremacy in one shape, form, or fashion or another. Okay? Making deals to help oppress a certain people. So, it's like the saying go. When you see two oppressors fighting, you sit back and watch the oppressors fight. Because someone is drinking their cup of iniquity. Someone is drinking what they have put out. Okay? But we're not gonna, so that's just basically my viewpoint of things. So, me personally, the black man who ran them down to another hall or whatever, that doesn't mean that, some people in the world is going to be confused by that. They're going to be like, well, are these people oppressed or are they not oppressed? Okay? If they're oppressed, then that's certain action that might have occurred, right? You would think that a black person who has seen all these police killings and because you know the people that stormed the Capitol, some of them were police, some of them were ex-police, some of them were in the military, some of them were, you know, you understand. You would think that a black man would, at that juncture, at that point, because other people did it. They said, "Oh, I was overwhelmed, you know, I was overran, you know, they got the best of me. There's nothing I could do, you know." But it's always some black people in history of our country, of this country here, that goes above and beyond, goes above and beyond the duty. All right, goes above and beyond. And at the end of the day, the people, the same people, get treated on a secondary level. You see, because how people think, you can't respect somebody that is not willing to stand up for themselves. That's how a lot of people think. You cannot respect somebody who is not willing to stand up for themselves, let alone allow something to occur. You know, when it's time for you to drink your cup of iniquity, and you jumping in the way for somebody to drink their cup, how can those who oppress respect you on that? How can you be respected on that? Right? So when they stormed the Capitol, I'm going to get into some specific sites, some websites, okay? And you might want to get over there and just look at. So I'm gonna just websites or website this time. Excuse me. Keep the noise down. Keep the noise down. A website. Actually, I'm gonna say one for right now, and then later on, there's this preacher that was in Washington D.C. Right? White preacher, and he was actually one of the preachers that preached to him before they went to Washington D.C. or before they stormed the Capitol, before they stormed it. Okay, he kept them in high spirits and stuff like that. Okay, and I follow him, on the live just to see what's going on, just to see, what he talking about and stuff like that. It's not nothing overt, but if a person can read between the lines, what's going on, in a certain way, when you're talking about, he's talking about God in the country and we have to take our country back, and they're there in Washington D.C. and he's steady pumping them up preaching that, okay, and then they go do the thing that they did. So there's that. Then you have, as I have spoken of before in the past, I spoke about left-wing white supremacy and right-wing white supremacy. I might have to redo that again, but there's two forms, there's two main strands. So you got people on the left, you got people even in the LGBTQ that are racist. I mean, like, you got people that they might agree with the politics of the right, but they on the left, but they still racist to black folks. Like, and me, I don't support LGBTQ nothing. Okay, I don't believe certain actions are, acceptable. That doesn't mean that I, go out and I, treat people a certain, bad way as far as oppressing on them. But I disagree with that type of lifestyle. But if you go to on the left in the LGBTQ, there's white racists over there too, and they're racist towards gay blacks based on the fact that they're just black. So you got racism on the left and you got racism on the right. Okay, one is more blatant and the other one's more hidden. So with Biden coming in and Trump going out, what you have to understand real quick is that that's even more dangerous, because what you don't understand is it's hibernation time right now. It's time for them to go back. And what you don't also understand is that was a softening up. That was what they call a first phase. Okay, they was testing the reaction and responses. Right, down to go. Keep it up. I'm gonna take you off of it. You're gonna have to take a nap. So, excuse me. So, they that was just them testing. They got a certain amount of number of Trump supporters, went out there and they stormed, and they basically was testing. It was testing the response. It was testing the reaction. But that's just the first phase. You see, no one. You gotta remember who's involved. Some of these people were in the police before. Some of the people were active police. Some people were in the military. Some people were actively in the military. You got to understand the mindset of the type of people that stormed. They understand military tactics. They understand that you don't put all your eggs, so to speak, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? They understand timed responses. So when they did that, that was just to see the reaction. And now they sitting back. And you can hear it in the underground. You know, you got a white supremacy underground. You got a black supremacy underground. Let's just be real about it. You got an underground to things. Okay? Stuff that's not seen on the surface. Stuff that's not seen above ground. Above ground meaning on the social media. Above ground meaning some things in the streets you don't. Okay? There's been a hidden war for a long time between black supremacy, white supremacy, and there's been a hidden war. You see? But you don't get wind of that because some things are made to look like an accident. Some things are done and the police is not called. Okay? Facts. Right? Some things is done that's just never spoken of. People take it to their grave. Right? And they just chalk up their L. They chalk up their losses. Or their minute gain. Right? So, excuse me, Sakar, take that off because she's really doing that. So, Saria. This is Saria. So, so that's what that was. That was the first phase, right? That was basically the first phase of. So it's not over with. If a person thinks because Trump left that's over with, you either don't understand or you're fooled or you know. So you still need to be on cue. You still need to be prepared. Now I'm going to refer you to something real quick. I'm going to refer you to this website. Now, I, at times, be on white supremacist websites. All right? Yes, I have fake accounts and different names and all type of stuff like that. All right? So I'm going to give you this website, and before they change it or make a code or whatever that might happen, maybe it's let's see which one. Hold on a second. See which one is it. Okay. So, you got to understand something. A lot of these guys are based on, some of these guys are based on ideology. Okay? They have a certain type of religious belief, understanding, ideology that they're working off of. Okay? So, what I want to do is, I ain't been over here. I'm gonna get this to you real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get it to you because of the things that we going through, what's going on. I'm gonna give you this white supremacist site, and it's not really it's not one of the ones that's like hidden, but it's one of the ones unless you know uh, who is who within the white supremacy, the different groups, you know, you might not even know nothing about it. Okay, so before they can take it down or before they can change it or block people or make it special, I want this is a white supremacist website, and go through the stuff that they talk about. You can see some of the things that they talking about. I gotta go back. I think in a couple days or something like that, if I get a chance, go back and get the other websites that I used to go on that are white supremacist websites. One website that you can go on is the Hammer Skinhead Nation. The Hammer Skinhead Nation website. Okay, that's one site to go on. All right. This site that you want to go on is the next one I'm about to give you want to go on is called the nationalvanguard.org. Nationalvanguard.org. So that's National Vanguard VANGUARD.org. Okay. Some of these sites I'm probably gonna when I go back to my other thing I'm gonna give you. You're gonna have to sign up. You know, they're gonna ask you your name, you know, who you are, all type of stuff, right? So if you don't got a fake account, if you ain't got away with that, you might not get into these sites. But this one is fairly open. You have to know about it in order to get to it, but I'm gonna get it to you. So the nationalvanguard.org. Now the nationalvanguard.org, out of many of these groups, is what they call an ideological organization that teaches them to be white supremacists. Okay, so that then there's other groups that are formed off of that group. Okay, so go there to get the teaching, the taught, and then the other different groups are formed based on the model of what they teach. Okay, this one usually is the type that that advocates overthrowing things. Okay, taking the government back, United States government back, things like that nature. Okay, now there's some white supremacist websites that don't particularly teach like that directly, but in the indirect way of teaching, it would lead to that, right? So again, before I get off of here, I just wanted to leave this. Remember, it's called the nationalvanguard.org. You can see much of what they teach. You're gonna be shocked about a lot of stuff. Some things on there that they have on there on their website is actually some factual, truths. In order to propagate a lie or propagate certain things, you have to have some truths. As far as who runs Hollywood and all that. I mean, a lot of black liberation of our own black liberation leaders taught that, though. Who runs the media, who runs Hollywood, and all this and that. Okay, so that's not nothing big. You know that. But other than that, go over there. Start being on cue with start being on cue. So let me real quick go look real quick, see if I can find this this guy who's a preacher for some of these white supremacy groups. All right, let me go see if I can actually get this real quick. Hold on. Let me see this real quick. Let me see. Let me look. Let's see. Let me see real quick. Cause I had it up there too. but he's actually one who preaches to a lot of them. Okay, he actually preaches to a lot of them. Here we go. So now this guy, he's real subtle with it. If you don't know what to look for, you'll miss it. But if you're talking about people that are patriots, or people that are white supremacists, or people that believe in sort of like or actually overthrowing, you know, but they're not gonna say it like that. Understand? They're not gonna say it like that. They're gonna say we need to take our country back. Okay? So I'm gonna call one of the pastors' names out. White supremacist pastor. He might even go into denial. But if we trace Washington, D.C., if we trace the Capitol when it was stormed, and we trace the type of patriots, you'll see his inspiration in the mix. So his name is Pastor Greg Locke. Pastor Greg Locke. Pastor. Pastor. Greg, Greg, Locke. Now he might try to deny some things, but if you trace the Patriots that stormed, and you trace the teaching and preaching, Washington, D.C., the day of the storming and the day before the storming, you get what you call a connection. You get a connection. Okay? So, gave you two things to go look up. That's the guide a lot of them rely on. A lot of them are feeling, bad right now that Trump's out of office. A lot of them are feeling bad about, the non-successful nature, supposedly, of the storming, right? And they were told basically, to don't worry, God, just be silent, be still, be calm, don't be stressed, don't be worried. They was told this just recently. Just be quiet and wait until God puts things in place, and then basically you come back. All right. So they was told this just recently, right? So again, I'm gonna give you that website. I'm gonna get off here, and then later on, sometime today or tomorrow, I'm banking for the day. You will we're gonna talk about our sister over there in Harlem, who was viciously, set upon by some brothers. That stuff gotta stop, man. The black on the man. Anyway, so hopefully that queen's all right. The sister's okay, and definitely stuff like that need to be, dealt with. And our community can't have that type of stuff no more. We should never have that, but we're in a different era now. We're in a different era. We can't, like the motto says, like the oath say, I will not accept the murder of another black person, whether it be by black people or white people. And that's the model that you have to have. Okay? We cannot keep allowing the oppression to continue on our people from even some of our own people. Period. So yeah. So that's time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give you that white supremacy website again. Had it switched off. Hold up. Hold on. Switched off. I'm about to bring this to a close real quick. Let's see. Okay. So again, that white supremacist website, before they either close it or change it or whatever, nationalvanguard.org. NATIONAL, no space, no space bars, or no lines or anything. Just nationalvanguard.org. Okay, so you know, look at some of the things. Remember the pastor, Pastor Greg Locke. Also, Pastor Greg Locke. He's one of the okay. Hold on, we're having playing this video. They shut me down. Okay, they're having problems now. Okay, well, I'm gonna just continue to talk anyway and say this because it's showing that this has been ended, and that's why I paused. So I'm just gonna say nationalvanguard.org. So we're saying that I'm gonna end that. Go over there, see what they got on that white supremacy website. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you're not in health, may Allah give you health, and if you are healthy, then alhamdulillah bil alameen. Black liberation, peace, and black power. Indeed. Okay.